Nedeljkovic. Please let us know in the chat if you'd like to ask a question. We'll start with Ansar Khan.
Yeah, Alex, just your thoughts on with all the changes the team made in the offseason, new coaching staff, just what has it been like as far as the optimism? Do you sense just kind of a renew freshness, just more excitement heading into this training camp?
Well, I think there's always an excitement coming into camp, whether you have new staff or new guys. Like, even if you took the same 20 guys from last year and the same staff, there would be that little bit of excitement coming into it, right? You spend all summer away, and now you get to kind of start over and hit the reset button. So, but yeah, I think you could tell definitely in today's practice how there was a lot of energy, and there's been a lot of buzz even at the rink the last 2 weeks. Just with a lot of fresh faces around, and what things are going to be like, how things are going to run on a day-to-day basis. But I think it's all great. I think Newsy set the tone today. It's a very intense practice, very high-paced, high energy, and I think that's what you're going to see throughout the year, is a hardworking and a high-intensity team.
Just with the additions that the team made in the offseason, just how much deeper is this team looking this year?
Yeah, very, very deep. We have, a lot of guys at every position up and down the lineup that can come in and step in and have an impact, every day. So there's, you never want to feel comfortable. You never want to be content with where you are. You should come into the rink every day with the mindset that, you're here to get better. You're here to work and, have a good attitude about it, and, just do your job, right? Come in, get better every day. If it was a bad day, shake it off. There's always tomorrow. Come in tomorrow, and you get a chance to do it over again. But understanding right now that there's somebody behind you that's right there, ready to go and kind of nipping at your heels to take your spot.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep. Max Boltman.
Alex, what have your early impressions been of Derek?
Very, he's been a very detailed guy, I'd say. We had our meeting yesterday, big team meeting, and he brought up some numbers from last season. I'm not going to repeat them right now. I'll just tell you that obviously they weren't very good, specifically on the D side of the puck. But that was today's focus, was our D zone coverage and managing the puck and making sure we knew what was going to happen in certain situations, and just trying to make life easier for us. And I think that's going to obviously help a lot come game time, just knowing where the puck's going to be, where the puck's going to go, and everybody can read off of that.
How do you kind of balance the fresh start, I guess, that comes with having a new coaching staff and some new teammates, with also kind of the motivation of carrying over, looking at stuff from last year, I guess?
Well, the motivation aspect, it doesn't take much. Obviously, we weren't a great team last year. And if you're, I think if you're a new guy coming into this team, I don't think nobody was on Colorado. So there's a lot of motivation there to win and succeed. And I mean, heck, even if you don't, right? DP's a guy, he's won in the past. He won with St. Louis, but he comes in every day and he's got a great attitude, great mindset, and he works. And I think he's going to be a great leader for us in that locker room, and just showing that it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It matters what you do today, and it matters what you do for me tomorrow. And, as long as we have that attitude that we're going to come in and work and get better and improve, then, I think it'll translate on the ice.
And then one of the new guys they brought in on the blue line, Sherratt, what kind of impact do you think he can make for you guys, and how can he kind of affect the team?
I think he's going to be great. He's going to be a big body, be a physical presence for us. He's already making, even on the offensive side, he's been making some plays. He's got a big shot. So I think up and down the ice, he's going to have a tremendous impact. He's going to play big minutes for us and have a real impact throughout the year.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep. Helene St. James.
Hi, Alex. Early impressions of David Perron out there?
Just like I said, he's a hard worker. He's got a good shot. He's a very smart player. And I think he's going to be a great leader. He's going to be one of the leaders in that locker room that's maybe a little bit more vocal than others. And even if he's not, it's his work ethic and his mindset and his attitude that's what's going to help us and help some of these younger guys kind of learn what it's like to be a professional.
Just how huge would it be for you guys? I mean, he's obviously somebody who can really be a difference maker on a power play to have a more effective power play than you've had in the past.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk much about the power play. That's not my side of the sport. So, I'll leave that to some of the forwards and the D and the coaching staff. But I mean, just up and down the ice, I think he's going to have a big impact, even in the defensive zone for me. Like just knowing where to be, knowing how to communicate and help guys kind of stay a little bit more structured and kind of doing their job and staying on top of everybody.
Daniela Bruce.
Hi, Alex. When we talked to you a few weeks ago, you were facing or putting a heavy focus on your mental side of the game and getting better at that as you head into a new season. How prepared are you feeling from that aspect now that you're here at camp?
Feeling great. I mean, this is where you're going to get a lot of shots in a small amount of time. And you can't dwell on whatever happens, especially right now. It's just practice. We're going to give up goals. We're not going to make every save. And we're not going to always do everything perfectly. But I think obviously, you want to make saves, but as long as, you're working hard and you're competing and you've got that mindset that puck's not going to get by you, that's all you can do. Right. And you're going to have some funky bounces. You're going to have some bad reads and some miscues inside your head. But at the end of the day, it's done, it's over with, and it's just time to move on.
And last question for me, Sebastian Costa talked a lot about how he worked out in Detroit all summer and was able to work with some of the goaltending coaches and the pros like you guys. How closely did you get to work with him and what did you see from him?
Yeah, got to go on the ice a couple of times with him. Obviously they were doing a little bit more in terms of skating and stuff earlier on in the summer. I wasn't doing much skating in July, and then he had to go out to World Juniors. Looked like he had a good showing out there. So it's been good. He's looked good this year. Skated with him today. He was with us in our group, and he looked good, looked sharp. It was definitely you can definitely tell he's been working at it, and he looks a lot better than what he did last year. And I think this is great. It's a great sign for a young kid to come in and have some confidence to show what he's got.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Jonathan Mills.
Hey, Alex. First morning of camp here in the books. What are your biggest focuses personally for yourself as this kind of weekend gets going here?
Honestly, just take it day by day. Put in a good work day today. It's a good first day. Go home, kind of recover now, and get ready for tomorrow and do it again. Biggest thing for me that I said at the end of last year was to be more consistent, learn how to be more consistent, both physically on the ice and mentally. And starts today. That was good. It was a good first day. Got to do it again tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
George Malik.
Hey, Alex, to sort of follow up on Daniela's question, I was wondering, I know you didn't have a full summer, but did you do work on anything technically speaking to try and improve your game?
Yeah, worked on a couple different things, position wise, and just a couple technical things here and there that we think will help make me a better goalie, help me be a little bit more consistent on the ice. So I didn't get maybe as much time as I wanted to on the ice, but whenever I was, it was a very productive skate, and I'm hoping to kind of show that in camp here.
There are obviously a lot of new faces on the roster, and Billy Husso is one of them. I was wondering what your early impressions of your teammate are.
Just a great guy. I mean, everything that I've heard from other players or other guys that played with him or knew him a little bit said he's a nice guy and he's a good teammate, and couldn't have said it any better. Got to skate with him the last 2 weeks back at LCA, and same thing there. We're on the ice and kind of not really learning from each other, but we're out there pushing each other to be better and kind of learning what makes each other tick. And it's been great. I think it's going to be a great year getting to know him and being his partner and hopefully pushing each other to both have success.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Last question, Art Regner.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Great, Art. Good to see your little black box there. Your camera's off.
Yeah, of course. But It's always great. And, looking forward to seeing you grow the hair back, by the way, but that'll be for another time. George I'm going to follow up on what George asked you about Willie Husso. Is this the time, though, at training camp, even though you're not going to probably play preseason games together and not be on the same squad or on the ice at the same time, where you forge that relationship with him? And how important is that, Mike, off the ice? I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to go fishing or take a balloon ride together or anything like that, but is it very important for you two to bond, especially right now?
Yeah, definitely. I think it already started back at LCA, just being on the ice together, doing a couple goalie skates. And, he moved in right down the road from me. So I'm sure we'll be going to a couple dinners, and the girls will want to go out together too. So it'll be great. And yeah, like you said, this is a perfect time to get to know each other and build that relationship. I think we're actually doing a big goalies night, not just me and him, but Coase, UC, all 8 of us. And then I think the goalie staff as well. We're going to have a little on game day. We're playing, I think it's called Cube. It's a Scandinavian game. Westy thought about it and thought it would be a good one. So we're going to do that and just kind of relax, get to know everybody, get to know each other and build those relationships. And I think it'll be great.
Well, you're trying to build a relationship, obviously, with Husso. You guys are the Red Wing goaltending tandem, and there are some young guys that obviously look towards you and Willie as mentors to a certain degree. But you also have to make an adjustment to a new goaltending coach with Westland. How is that going? And have you been able to get at least a bit of a read on what kind of coach he's going to be for you?
Yeah, it's been great. I think he's been around for 2, maybe 3 weeks. And the first couple of weeks was just kind of feeling it out. I think feeling me out, me kind of figuring out how he likes to run practices and what his goalie skates kind of typically look like. And it's been great. There's been a lot of communication, and I think that's key in having a good relationship and a good working relationship, is knowing where his head's at and what he expects of us. And at the same time, what we kind of expect from him in terms of, how we want maybe some practices to look, or how, what time we want maybe to be on the ice and things like that. And it's been great. And I think it's definitely helped the adjustment. And, today was a great first day. There wasn't really any miscues and it's something where he said something, or maybe we got in net and we just were kind of questioning what was going on. Today was pretty flawless for day one.
And finally, obviously Red Wing fans are very excited about the prospects for this team and their individual prospects. How much have you been able to spend time on the ice with Simon Edvinsson, and maybe your impressions of him? Because obviously there's a high expectation level, especially for him.
I haven't actually skated with Simon as much as some of the other guys. Obviously he went back to World Juniors there in August. But a couple of times I've seen him skate, or that I have been on the ice, I've been pretty impressed. He's a big guy, obviously, and he's one of those guys, I think, that he's got a lot of confidence in himself, and he makes it look effortless. I think he's a pretty good skater, and sometimes guys can get a rep where it looks like they might not be trying, but that's kind of how they see the game, and that's where they, how they play it. And I think it's a testament to how smart he is, how smart he can be, and how much he believes in himself and in his skill set to make the right play and make the right decision. Now, obviously, he's done that overseas, and he's done that at a world stage at the World Junior level, but this is a whole other animal, and doing it every single day at a high level, it is, in the NHL, is a lot different. So it'll be an adjustment, I think. But I think he's a good enough kid, smart enough kid to probably make that adjustment and to work at it. And if not, go to GR and just work at it. There's a lot of guys here that are going to help him and want to make him better and be the best that he can be. So, and that goes for everybody, for all these young guys that are turning pro. I think it doesn't just fall upon like the old, I don't want to say older guys, but like DP or Ben or Larks, guys that have been in the league for 8, 9, 10 years, maybe. I think it's the onus is on everybody that's been in the league or that's just here to make these young guys feel comfortable knowing that, you know, they're a part of this organization. I think that's crucial, is making them feel like they belong here. Because at some point, you know, you never know who it is. They might be up here, and there's nothing, I can tell you, there's nothing worse than getting the call and coming up to the NHL and then not feeling like you're a part of the team. It's just, and feeling like an outsider, because it's so much harder to play that way. And I think if you can make these guys feel comfortable, it's going to show on the ice, and they're going to have that confidence that, hey, I belong here. So I'm just going to do my thing and show what I got. And I think that's big. And it's not just me and the goalies or me and Simon, it's me from whoever's 50th on that depth chart or whatever it may be.
And finally, and I know I said last question, but is this the year that you are going to add to your professional goal scoring rank and score a goal in the NHL?
You know, I hope it is. I say it every year. I hope it is. I say it every night. I hope tonight's the night. But I mean, we'll see. You know, I'd love for that to be the case. But you know, at the end of the day, I'd love to be raising the Stanley Cup. And if I can trade that off, obviously, I'll trade off taking a Stanley Cup as opposed to scoring a goal. So we'll take it day by day, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, dude. I mean, everyone knows that you want to score a goal in the NHL. I mean, are your teammates aware of it? Has anybody tried? I know your job is, as you said, to win the cup and win games. I understand that, and stop the puck. I mean, that's number one priority. But is it a topic of conversation, or does people say, hey, look, Alex, maybe kind of temper that a little bit?
No, it's not. It's honestly not really a topic of conversation, just because it doesn't really happen that often, and opportunities are very scarce to do it. So have talked about it with Westy a little bit, honestly, about puck handling, things like that. And he's all for the puck handling, but he's made it clear. He's like, if you're going to do something that's kind of 50-50 or high risk, high reward type thing, you got to be 100% to do it. So obviously that's where we are, and we'll just try to make this the right play and the smart play.
You know what, Alex, between me and you and everybody else on this call, probably the entire world, I think you're going to do it this year. I've got a really good feeling about it. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. I look forward to seeing everybody who's blacked out next time. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. We will be